Look. You wasted my time. I will get back at him.
All right, besties. So today we've got Catfish, but with a twist because we are headed overseas with Nella Rose herself and Uba. Everyone roasted me last time I said because I was calling him Uber, but that's what Neve called him, so that's what I called him. But we'll say Uba so y'all will get off my back. We have covered Catfish UK episodes in the past, but somehow this one is the first one that we've covered with Nella, and she has been highly requested. Nella is just so funny and she's so beautiful, so you already know I am excited to get into the mess that is Geoffrey and Jasmine season 3 episode 2. We get an email from Joffrey, who is a 30-year-old account executive from, well, honestly, I'm not going to act like I know how to pronounce this. I'm definitely going to butcher it, so I'm just going to let Uba say it.
And from Wolverhampton.
The UK names always give me a hard ass time because, y'all, why does it look like Wolverhampton if it's pronounced Wolverhampton? Wolverhampton. I don't even still think I said it right, but that's where he's from. And Joffrey has been talking to Jasmine for 4 months, and he believes that she is his soulmate in part because of their shared spiritual beliefs. He said that he wants to take their relationship to the next level, but in true Catfish fashion, they have never spoken on the phone, and Jasmine always has an excuse as to why she cannot meet up.
And I love it. I'm like, that's hilarious.
It's good to know that in the UK, they are just as delusional as they are in the US.
Wow.
Good to know. But they waste no time and they hop on a video call with Joffrey. He says that he is head over heels in love with Jasmine, but the first thing he mentions is how she looks.
It got me head over heels over her, like from how she looks.
So is it love or is it just lust? That's what I would like to know. He then says some very generic shit about her that he likes about her, says that she's wifey and she gives him butterflies and all of the things. We then find out that they apparently met on a dating app, and shortly after, Jasmine added him on Snapchat.
What?
Collective sigh. This is the equivalent of meeting on Plenty of Fish, in my humble opinion. Shockingly, but not really shockingly, I'm being sarcastic here, they have never spoken on the phone, they've never FaceTimed, and she has never even sent him a voice note. She says that she is very shy.
You stupid.
Nella straight up asks, why do you need our help? And Joffrey rambles a bunch of nonsensical things before essentially saying that he and Jasmine both want to move the relationship along.
What?
If that's what you both want and you're on the same page, then why do you need Catfish? Something is not adding up here. Like, if that were true, the relationship would just be moving along. They, of course, agree to help him and they hop off of the call. Nella clocks some tea and she questions why Jasmine wouldn't have just messaged him on the dating app if she first, in fact, did see him on the dating app.
Why were you like him? You could have just messaged him on there.
But
I know something you don't. I know something you will never know.
Just realizing stuff.
Uba is, of course, the passenger princess as they head out to meet Mr. Delulu himself. Me and Uba, like this, passenger princesses for life, baby. Joffrey tells us that his love life has been challenging prior to his spiritual awakening because he was very egotistical and he was mainly into appearances rather than what is within, and it was draining for him. Editing Jada, roll the clip.
It got me head over heels over her, like from how she looks.
So is it love or is it just lust? That's what I would like to know. Uba and Nella are like, okay, enough of that. What do we actually know about this girl? Joffrey says that she lives in North London, that she's a go-getter, and then he begins talking about himself and what Jasmine does for him and how Jasmine makes him feel. So again, it doesn't sound like he knows very much about her at all.
She makes me feel like I can be a better person and be able to have a conversation about on how I can improve myself.
And I personally am not sure if he even cares to know very much about her. It does seem like the Joffrey show, and at this point, Jasmine is just a side character to his main plot line. He then calls Jasmine his twin flame and soulmates.
Cut the cameras.
Oh, brother.
The fact that she's into spirituality and she's looking that good, I'm like, what? What's going on, you know?
Yeah.
We then see pictures of Jasmine and she's very clearly giving UK insta baddie. Joffrey says that things are very serious between them. They have plans for marriage, kids, the whole 9 yards, white picket fence, all that. I don't know if that's a saying in the UK. It's a saying over here though. We then get rapid fire red flags. They only speak on Snapchat because Jasmine claims she doesn't have any other social media.
There you go, this bitch, I'm telling you.
Uba, Nella, and I are not believing that lie whatsoever. Okay, it's not making sense. The pictures give Instagram. They're from Instagram.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
Jasmine also ignores him, like she will ghost him, she will screen him whenever he brings up meeting or talking on the phone. You don't find that suspicious? How do y'all feel about my Canadian tuxedo? I felt it was very on brand for my first video back after my trip. If you don't know what I'm talking about, why have you not watched the last video? You got work to do. When asked if he can think of anyone who might be interested in catfishing him, Joffrey says that he recently had a fallout with a friend over a song collab.
What?
A song collab. So you make music?
Oh, no.
Joffrey did not follow through with what he said he was going to do, so he and the friend got into it and they haven't spoken in a little bit less than 5 months.
A little bit less than 5 months.
You stupid.
Sir, you are a big dummy. A big dummy, okay? Because you had this fallout with a friend 5 months ago. You and Jasmine have been talking for 4 months and they popped up on Snapchat out of all places. That wasn't questionable to you? You didn't think about that? Our UK hosts then, of course, they agree to help and they head out. And in the car, they're like, can this guy really be that stupid? They didn't say that, but that's kind of the gist of the conversation, of the breakdown, of the recap, of the debrief. And Nella then says that she has a gut feeling that this is going to end badly, and I'm honestly so with her on that.
I've got like a gut feeling that this is gonna end so badly.
In true catfish fashion, they get to investigating at this cute little cafe.
UK edition.
It looks not that different from American cafes, which is to be expected, I suppose. But anyways, back to the point. They start by looking at the pictures that Joffrey sent them of Jasmine. Our girl Nella peeps that you can actually see her driver's license in the phone case in one of her mirror selfies.
The driving license on the phone case.
But unfortunately, it is too blurry to make out any identifying information. Nella then decides to give the friend from the fallout named Classy a call, which is definitely a name for sure, but he answers right away, so he is quickly filled in on what is going on. Classy says that he once did in fact have a brother named Joffrey, but they don't know each other anymore.
I once had a brother, Joffrey. We don't know each other anymore.
The pressure is getting worse.
This sounds serious, besties. Very serious. Classy says that Joffrey wasted his time, and from then on, he vowed that one day he would get back at him. Sir, what? You know you're talking to Catfish, right?
Wasted my time. Not the one day I will get back at him.
But at this point, let's just end the episode right here, right now, because I'm almost certain that it is Classy himself with the way that he's talking.
Now, why am I in it?
But also, the fact that both of them keep talking about their music just makes me side-eye the situation a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does feel like a bit too much self-promo to me, especially this early on in the episode. It didn't just come out like organically. Nella then politely insinuates that Classy is the catfish, claps back hard when he says this.
So he thinks I would waste my time on him again? Don't call me about Joffrey anymore.
The OG, triple OG, the motherfucking Hefe.
They thank him for his time and they hop off the call. Nella and Uba are gooped and gagged, but they agree that their number one catfish suspect at this point is Classy because they simply have nobody else to go off of. And also, Classy made it sound like it was classy. So we then get back to the investigation and their Google schmoogles get absolutely no hits. And when they try and search up an Instagram with that name, they don't get any hits either, which is somewhat shocking. Because even I feel like when you search up my name, you get other people's Instagrams that are not just my Instagram. But anyways, they reverse image search some of her pictures, and the first few don't get any hits, but the last one does in fact come back with something. I'm leaving here with something.
I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
It is linked to the Instagram of the real girl behind the pictures whose name is Izzy. She is an Insta model of sorts with over 10,000 followers, and that just echoes what I said at the beginning of the video that the pictures are definitely giving Insta baddie vibes, UK edition.
Got the profile.
Oh my days!
They send Izzy a DM just asking her to get back to them. Our hosts then head out to fill Joffrey in, and on the way to the car, they actually get a call from Izzy herself and they switch to FaceTime. We then see that it is her for real, and Uba fills her in on what has been going on some more. She says that she has never spoken to anyone named Joffrey, which is not shocking whatsoever, but it's clear she does feel bad that he is being catfished. I feel like for me, I would feel bad, but then I'd also be like, someone thinks I'm pretty enough to steal my pictures to catfish? Like, it would be a little bit flattering. Anyways, that's not the point. That's not the point. This is not to say go and start catfish accounts with me. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that.
Girl, don't play.
But Izzy does agree to talk to Joffrey so he can no longer be delusional about the entire situation. We then pull back up on Delulu spiritualist Joffrey, and they waste no time filling him in on the findings of their investigation. With no background context whatsoever, no explanation, they call Izzy and give Joffrey the phone, which is so funny to me because he just has to try and put the pieces together himself about what the hell is going on and why this call is happening.
So I'm guessing you're not Jasmine.
No.
So the phone call is pretty awkward, and to me right now, I'm wondering if Izzy is in on it too, because this could have promoted her Instagram account as well as Joffrey and Classy's music career.
Side eye.
So we then cue back up some of the emotional music with more of Joffrey's delusional rambling before he dramatically walks off and acts like he's crying, but he's not really crying because he's just like sniffling heavily, and we never see a single tear. We never see him actually like wipe his eyes. He just covers his face like so, like that, and sniffles. I didn't need to show you what sniffling sounds like, but anyways. Nella and Ubah then walk over to Joffrey to comfort him through his sniffles, and again, not a single tear or even a red eye. I have a question for you, and be honest with me. Is it heartless that in this moment, I genuinely burst out laughing when I first watched this episode?
We listen and we judge.
Because this man couldn't even say anything that he really liked about Jasmine. He couldn't really say features that he liked about her, things that he liked about her. He was just talking about how she made him feel. It was all about him. He's not really crying right now. He's sniffling for sympathy.
Who does that, you know?
So at this point, to me, it's either giving fake episode or Joffrey is really that delusional and self-centered. Either way, it did make me laugh. They eventually make their way back to the table and a text is sent to Jasmine. They just tell her like, hey, we know you're a lying liar who lies and we want to meet up with you tomorrow. Nella then asks how Joffrey is feeling considering he was just fake crying on the couch, and he responds with vengeful.
How are you feeling like in this moment?
Want some revenge, I would say, but...
Sir, what? Fuck do you mean vengeful?
That's weird.
He then makes it clear that he was hurt, so now he's going to hurt whoever this is back.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Okay.
What I'm feeling right now is definitely like, you hurt me. I want to hurt you back.
That's definitely something. It is. But interrupting Joffrey's villain plot, we then get a text from Jasmine who questions why Catfish is even involved in the first place and then agrees to meet the next morning in Victoria Park in London. Joffrey then tells us that he used to live in North London, but he doesn't believe it's anyone he used to be in contact with. Now, at this point, I'm not really sure if this is relevant or not, if they just tried to throw another red herring our way. Nella and Ubah wait in the car for Joffrey, and Nella says what we are all thinking.
I've never broken bad news to somebody and they've turned around and said, yeah, I want vengeance.
The trio then heads out to London, and we quickly shift to the next morning, picking up Joffrey before they head out to the long-awaited confrontation.
Finally!
On the way there, they theorize about who it could be, and Joffrey once again brings up the fact that he makes music.
One of my friends that I even made music with.
Clap if you care.
We don't care. Like, I really don't give a fuck. I don't like when people come on the show and they just do like copious amounts of self-promo. It really aggravates me. I'm here for the mess, not to find out that you make bad music. I don't care about that. But they pull up at the park, they hop out of the truck, and they wait for the catfish. We then see someone start to head our way, and it's clear that Joffrey recognizes them, but at this point, we don't know who it is or why he recognizes them. And then, cut to commercial break. We find out that it is a woman named Riza, and Joffrey says that that's his best friend.
Do you know them?
That's my best friend, bro.
What's all these shenanigans?
What?
What's all this bullshit and shenanigans?
Like, actually, what? That's a crazy plot twist I was definitely not expecting. Mind you, this girl was never mentioned at all throughout this episode. Like, at all. Riza just comes clean and she says that she is in fact Jasmine.
It's obviously me.
And you've been texting me for 4 months.
Yeah.
And while the best friend ending up being the catfish is a very classic plotline, I just didn't think that that would be the case in this episode, considering how everything else played out and considering we've never even heard of this lady. Riza says that she lives in London and that her and Joffrey met about a year ago. They talk regularly and they hang out regularly as well. And then we find out that when they were recently hanging out, Riza was actually hyping up Jasmine and encouraging Joffrey to pursue her.
What the fuck?
Which is nasty, crazy, wicked work for sure, considering she knew that she was the catfish all along. So she was essentially hyping herself up. Like, yeah, you should go for her. She's a real baddie. She would treat you real good. And she's talking about herself. That's a little bit psychotic, I think. Riza then says that when they first met, she felt like they had a romantic connection. And she felt as if he were her twin flame.
That math's not mathing.
Be fucking for real.
She then gets emotional when she begins to talk about how she was always there for Joffrey and would essentially do anything for him, but he never fully appreciated her for that. Which in my mind, if you can recognize all of those things and, oh, he never appreciated me, then why do you want to be with him? Quickly, answer the fucking question.
You better watch those B words, baby. You better watch those or you end up over in the ocean.
This Looney Tune girl then says that she went through his friends list and saw the type of girls that he liked and knew that she wasn't his physical type, so he would never want her despite the connection she felt they had.
I felt like he was my twin flame, and you didn't see me for that. You wanted to go for those type of girls, but you weren't looking at me.
Bomboclat!
These are some serious mental gymnastics manipulation backflips that this girl is doing to justify why she did this to her best friend. And I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
But this statement is also wild to me because remember, Joffrey had tried to claim earlier in the episode that he no longer pursued women just based on looks, which obviously that's not the case if your best friend is clocking your tea.
Clock it.
I'm just saying. But Riza then says some delusional ass shit when she tries to claim that even though she never verbally said that she liked Joffrey, she showed that she liked him through her actions.
Did you ever tell him that you liked him? No. I didn't verbally express it, but my actions I thought made it obvious.
Girl, what? You're about to piss me off. You're really about to piss me off. What are you even talking about? Because if y'all were just friends, he thought that y'all were just friends, why would he perceive anything you do as romantic in nature when you both have made it clear that you are just friends?
Quickly.
But also the thing that's blowing me, I feel like there's so much about this situation that I really don't like, and I'm also just kind of thrown off by because I really thought it was about to be classy. But I guess Classy's gonna get his revenge off camera. But for this girl, I feel like if you recognize that this man is shallow, why would you go out of your way to catfish or even pursue him in any capacity when you could just find someone who is interested in you for real, interested in you for you? Because she is a beautiful girl, and I'm sure she could easily find someone who genuinely wants her back.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
But Riza then says that she decided to make the Jasmine profile because Joffrey was telling her that he had begun talking to another girl.
They're going to prison.
She then says that she didn't create the profile out of jealousy, but to prove a point that Joffrey is shallow. To me, this is all very creepy, very stalkerish, very obsessive. It's crossing a lot of boundaries, and I don't like that none of that was really communicated to her in this moment. I feel like it should have been clear. You having feelings for him is not the problem. You doing all of this and then trying to justify because, well, you're shallow, well, you would have never liked me anyways. That's manipulative, and that is wrong. And you are violating the boundaries of your friendship. You are destroying your friendship in the process of doing all this crazy shit because the man that you want, you don't think he wants you. So then go find another man. Like, don't piss me off. Riza then says that her feelings are hurt to the core because Joffrey developed feelings for someone who has the exact same personality as her, but just doesn't look like her.
And it does hurt me to my core. She didn't want to take the time to look this way.
Girlie, you went out of your way to hurt your own feelings by confirming something you already suspected of being true.
We listen and we judge.
That is very scary behavior. Like, that is not normal stuff to do. That's not okay. Riza then says that despite Joffrey friend-zoning her, So he did communicate to her that he just wanted to be her friend, okay?
I felt it was a romantic connection, and that's what hurt me when you then decided to say, no, let's be friends.
She said she fell in love with him, but he wasn't seeing her because of how she looked.
Girl.
Again, I repeat that this is so very creepy, and she clearly violated so many boundaries that were clearly communicated to her. If the gender roles were flipped, I feel like there would have been no entertaining anything the creepy best friend had to say by the hosts, in my opinion. But also, I could be wrong because they also saw nothing wrong with stalking a girl and showing up at her house in the middle of the night. If you don't know what episode I'm talking about, go watch it. That one's crazy. And that was actually recommended to me by a bestie after I said, Catfish UK is not as messy. They said, actually, it is. It's messier, in fact. And they were not lying. But back to this episode. We then get some more sad, sympathetic music while Riza storms off and Nella follows her, which is genuinely upsetting me. Like, Nella following her is not upsetting me. I understand you want to talk to her some more, you want to comfort her. But it's bothering me because she stalked his whole life on the boardwalk. She went out of her way to catfish him and then tried to make it seem like he was the bad guy for not giving her a chance when he made it clear that he saw her as just a friend and he wanted to still be her friend. Is he shallow? Yes, absolutely. I clocked that before I even knew any of this. I thought he was shallow, but that doesn't make what she did okay by any means. And the fact that they're positioning her as the victim is very weird to me, even though she did this to herself.
Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
We then flash to Riza crying about how she feels ugly and Nella comforting her and telling her that she is beautiful. And she is a beautiful girl and she deserves to feel beautiful. And she also deserves to be with someone who she doesn't have to trick or deceive into liking her.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
Nella and Riza then return to the group as it starts to rain. Joffrey says that he is annoyed by all of this because he has feelings for Jasmine, but none of that was real. He says that his trust is broken.
I do have these feelings for Jasmine, which obviously Jasmine is you. That was not real.
And I personally feel like this reaction is much more fair than I would have been, and it's a much more tame reaction than I would have had if my best friend had done this to me. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Uba then asks if there could potentially be anything between them, which is an annoying question to me because she just violated him in so many ways. And you're like, well, are you gonna be together? Is that a possibility? The answer should be no. But let's see what this dingbat says. Joffrey basically just says that if Riza had just told him the truth as herself, there would have been a chance, but now there isn't. Riza then says that if she told him how she felt, then their friendship would be damaged. Girl, be for real. Be fucking for real. Would the friendship have been damaged in a way that it's not currently damaged because you catfished him?
Make it make sense.
Telling him you actually had feelings for him as you would have damaged the relationship more than you catfishing him has damaged the relationship. That's what you're telling me?
Be fucking for real.
Everybody's so creative.
This girl is delusional.
Riza then reiterates once again, well, Jasmine looks how she looks. You just don't like the way that I look, but you love my personality.
Jasmine looks the way she looks. So personality was still me.
Girl, you are being manipulative, and this is the classic catfish spiel, just mixed in with a little bit more tears, a little bit more sad music, a little bit more emotion, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I really don't. It really frustrates me. I don't think that Joffrey's a good guy, personally. Just my opinion. I think he's shallow and full of himself. But do I think that what Homegirl did was okay? Absolutely not. Two things can be true at once. Uba then cuts her off to be like, girl, he said what he said.
Period!
Finally, someone putting their foot down. Even though they're handling her with like kid gloves at this point. But Joffrey then says that he needs time to process everything before deciding how he wants to proceed, which makes Homegirl cry and makes her upset. She then finally apologizes for what she did. Only took the whole confrontation, but they share a long hug while she is sobbing and Joffrey is comforting her despite the fact that once again, she is not the victim here. Everyone says their goodbyes and they head out. In our 2-month follow-up, Joffrey and Riza are actually in the call together.
What is it, the praise?
We find out that they are currently best friends who are venturing into something new as they have actively been going on dates. We then hop off the call, they don't ask them any more questions, and the hosts say that that was cute and they hope that they can make things work, and I personally don't wish that.
That was cute.
That was cute. Fingers crossed that they can make it work.
I don't wish that for either of them. And before you boo me, hear me out, okay? Riza has deep-rooted insecurities about her appearance, and I feel like those things will only be exasperated by being with Joffrey because she knows firsthand that she is not his physical type. If that's something she was worried about before and she's like, oh, I went through your friends, I went through the people you're following to see I don't look anything like them, then that's going to be an insecurity as you move towards a relationship, in my opinion. I don't think that manipulation should be the basis of relationships. I don't think that should be the standard. I think that Joffrey can find what he is looking for, and Jasmine, I almost called the girl Jasmine, and Riza can find someone who likes her for her and isn't necessarily so shallow and superficial. That's just my opinion though. To be honest, the episode is over and I'm still not sure if it was real. I honestly couldn't tell you. But to be fair, that is how I feel about almost all of the Catfish UK episodes that I have seen thus far. And something about them, it just gives a different vibe. And I don't really understand that a whole lot because Catfish UK is, I don't think it's running anymore, but when it was airing and they were filming it and stuff, Neve was the producer or like one of the main producers, and it's still MTV. So it should have a very similar vibe, and yet the vibe is very different, but also the same. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully if you've seen a couple of my Catfish UK reviews and a bunch of my Catfish US reviews, you understand the vibe, you understand what's going on, okay? But that's the end of the video. I said all I gotta say. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, and you're still watching, why have you not subscribed? Why have you not liked the video? And why have you not hit the bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload? Why have you not done those things? I would like to know, okay? Because we're almost at 100K and I need your help to get there, besties. If there's another episode you'd like to see me cover or another show you'd like to see me cover, you can drop it down in the comments below. Or you can leave me a DM here on Instagram. I try to get back to as many of you as I can. I love talking to y'all. Let's comment a red light. Okay, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, to just alert Joffrey and Riza to all of their issues that they should be very aware of before going into a relationship with each other or other people. And that's all I got today for you, besties. Thank you, I appreciate you so very much, and I'll see you in the next video.